Hi Sagittarius, welcome to Higher Source Tarot for your September 2022 tarot reading. This is a reading for all Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Thanks to everybody for all the support. Can you believe it's almost September? Where has the year gone? But I hope all is well with you, and if you're new here, welcome. I post new readings on Friday, then again on Monday. Fridays are always a general reading. Mondays are something different every week. Today's reading will be a more detailed Celtic cross style reading. Next week, I'll have a 4-month predictive coming out for the months of September through December. So if you haven't hit that bell yet, you might want to be notified when new readings come up. And if you like tarot and you like the channel, I'd love to invite you to subscribe to Higher Source Tarot. All right, what advice do you have for Sagittarius? Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. What does Sagittarius need to know, please, for the best and highest good of all concerned with Sagittarius? Messages for Sagittarius, please. So we will start here with the tarot, and then we'll have the Angel Answers Oracle cards. Current situation, Two of Swords. Interesting. Oh boy, we're in a bit of a conundrum with that Four of Cups, but in your subconscious, you have the King of Pentacles, the distant past, the Star, the more recent past, the Five of Wands. Coming towards you is the King of Swords. You're represented by the Seven of Wands. The person or situation that you're attracting is Temperance. You have the Sun in your hopes and fears, Knight of Wands in the outcome. You know, I like it, especially through here. I feel like you're going to have a change coming in. Now, the bottom of the deck, you have here Strength, the Two of Cups, and the Nine of Swords. Look, they're trying to tell you, whatever it is, not to worry about it. I feel like some of you want to make a change because you have change cards in here. You want to make a change, but the right situation hasn't come in, but you're going to be moving forward here. You have information, a conversation that's going to be really direct, that's going to help all this moving forward. And you have great healing energy. So those of you, if it's a situation with a relationship, a love relationship, I do see you reconnecting. Even if you haven't actually broken up, but there's been some kind of distance or disagreement, or even with that Two of Swords, like you don't like their family or something. I'm just getting that, okay? I'm putting it out there because twos are about partnerships, and the Two of Cups tells us it's worth the investment. You've got a partner here. I mean, there's real love here, and I love that Strength energy because strength is about success. It's overcoming challenges, and it's moving forward in a confident way, and it's also, too, learning about yourself. So you have here 4 major arcana. You've got Aquarius, you have Leo here, you have Sagittarius, of course, and what else do we have here? Water. You got quite a bit of air. You've got fire too, though, and earth. So with that Nine of Swords, it just is an energy that says, hey, don't worry about it. You're being protected. The turning point is going to come in here. So if it's been something with a job here too, there may be somebody that comes in, because with the two kings, the King of Pentacles and King of Swords, so if that Nine of Swords has been worried about a job, I feel like they tell you just hang in there, keep going, because I do feel like you're going to have a decision to make, and somebody's going to come in here too, if it's your current job, and kind of lay down the law and get things situated better than they are. You may end up moving on. It might not be right away, though. I do get that. So those of you that are like, I can't find the right job, and there's just angst in this kind of energy. But again, I do feel like it's being resolved. So this just kind of makes me chuckle, because it's almost like, I almost wouldn't mind to see the Ace of Wands here, like somebody trying to get you to compromise, and you're just not having it. Or it could be them too. Somebody here is not looking, and compromise is when we both leave a little on the table. It's not when one person gets their way totally. And so some of that too can be somebody who is not willing to budge with that Two of Swords. But I will tell you, if it's not you and it's somebody else, they will after a while, because those swords are going to get heavy. The bottom sword is fear. The top sword is anger. And they're not very open-minded with this energy. So you may feel very caught in the middle. I mentioned if it's something to do with a significant other and you don't like their family or their friends, And that sounds a little harsh, but you just don't blend with them. And hell, maybe they're rude. I mean, I don't know. I'm just saying, it's like they might have done something. It might be justified. I do feel like there's something about this that's been difficult to resolve. Again, this is the current situation. Those of you too that it's been kind of the stuck in a job, like it's somewhat status quo, like you're not going to walk off, you're not going to be fired, but you're looking for something else and it just hasn't come in yet. It's on the way. Don't worry about it, because you've got, with that Knight of Wands, Knights come in of service. That Knight, it's like I see you jumping on the back of his horse and away you go with that. So with the King of Pentacles here, this is in your subconscious energy. The King of Pentacles is going to bring in stability in all areas of your life. He's covered with the grape leaves that you see featured in the Nine of Pentacles. Those symbolize abundance. So you're going to be flourishing in this energy. Some of you, it's going to be financial and career related, okay? So those of you too that it's been about a move and you've just not been able to find the right situation, contracts are going to be signed in the cards that are coming as we go through this. But I also feel like too, your tenacity is a lot of this. Your ability to persevere regardless. It's connected to this. Now, I do feel like you have somebody here. There's somebody else that comes into this situation. If it's something with career or finance or any kind of a contract that you need to sign, who's kind of a voice of reason and has some experience, and it may end up putting the whole thing to rest, which I think you'll really appreciate. But this King of Pentacles too, maybe who you're attracting, they're represented by Temperance, so they already feel your energy, and their partnership with you is going to be important. They have a really steady, stable energy. And so those of you too that it's whoever you're with now and you're saying, yes, they're steady and stable, but our communication has not been good. I do see that changing. There's going to be an opening there where you're going to get everything out. And I feel like it'll be one of those times where you do fall in love again. You grow closer together. And so, and if it's about finances too with this, as I look at this, that Temperance energy offers moderation. So if it's been them and something that you don't agree with them in terms of finance, that Temperance energy will allow you to reach a conclusion that's suitable for everybody here. So with the Star in the distant past, this is wish fulfillment. I mean, it really is a beautiful energy. It's a card of meditation, of tranquility, of self-care. And so some of you may have kind of set the stage, but you might not have stayed aligned with this energy, because right after it, you've got conflict. And the real key to this is staying in this. She's also the goddess of truth. So I do feel like somebody here, especially with that King of Swords energy, may have dealt a bit of a truth bullet to something. If there was something at work, there may be something that's going to be exposed there, and it is going to help you in the long run. Like I said before, I don't think you're going to stay there forever, but if there's some kind of BS going on with that Five of Wands, some childish nonsense, I do feel like with this, this was sort of like the tipping point or getting the ball rolling with it. And so with the energy of the Star, I do feel like you have an inner knowing, and you may be hanging on to that, kind of hanging on to hope with that, saying, I know this is going to get better. I'm just going to keep taking care of myself. I'm going to try to stay out of the fray as much as I can and continue to plan for the future. And so for some of you too, that deep desire is going to be answered. You've got it here several times. I mean, I love the energy of this. Temperance, the Star, both have that seat of the soul energy, and actually the moon comes in between the Star and the Sun, but that's okay for these purposes. We've got the Archangel Michael here. So I do feel like you get to this, but it's just a matter of staying the course and keeping the faith. That sometimes that blind faith that can be so difficult, right? So with this Five of Wands, this is change. And so I do feel like if there's been something chaotic around you, it just hasn't been smooth, you're going to definitely have, with the King of Swords, that's going to come in and set things straight. Because this is, like we talked about, it is childish, but it's chaotic. There's no order to it. There's no organization. And as you look at this too, like some of the characters are kind of not even paying attention to what they're doing. They're almost looking out as if, am I going to get caught? So those of you that are working with somebody that's got some slippery behaviors like that, am I going to get caught? Energy, they are, okay? You have it right here. So the King of Swords, he comes in very no nonsense. And you're going to, I think in this reading, you're going to appreciate this because it's direct. And swords are about boldness and the truth, but this one is nobility. So I do feel like it's somebody who has high honor, like they're very honorable. And I don't feel like it's a boss that's really chaotic. It doesn't feel like that. It feels more like people who just haven't been supervised, or in terms of anything to do with a contract. Again, I mentioned you may meet somebody who has this kind of energy. So if you're working on a home, project, and there's been an insurance company involved and they're avoiding paying you. We've all been through that at least one time. You have somebody here like a third party adjuster or something like that comes in and basically demands it and says you have to do this legally. So I do feel like it doesn't necessarily feel like an attorney. It feels more like a third party representative who basically sets things straight and says you can't do what you're saying you're doing. So your tenacity pays off with the Seven of Wands. You keep going no matter what with this. It is a card of success though, okay? But with the Star, we didn't really mention this too much, but it really is, this is a card of meditation. So is this, with the Seat of the Soul being featured here and your own energy. So be aware of that, making sure that you are taking good care of your spiritual fitness. Okay, because otherwise with the Seven of Swords, you start to force manifest and then it doesn't stay. It's like you get it for a while and then it seems to just go away. And so with the Seven of Wands, you want to be in that place where problems happen, yes, but you find solutions easily with this. So you're not going to stay stuck here. It's like just navigating minor things and they are going to be resolved. So if it's been something in a relationship too, Temperance galvanizes people. It's a wonderful healing energy. It brings in support and connection, but it also lets us be a little more easygoing. I mentioned before, you do have a partner here who feels very easygoing, and maybe that's been part of the issue where you've wanted them to be, I don't know, have a little more opinion on something or give a little more on in terms of communication. And so with this, you're going to come to the place of an agreement here. It's wear the world like a loose fitting garment. And so really understanding that you're a divine being. So a lot of what's going on around you feels more like day-to-day kind of mundane issues. And so as you let that energy kind of fall off of you, you're going to be in the place where you manifest more. So those long-term gains I mentioned for somebody here with a career, you're bringing in gains and riches, but you're bringing in synergy. You're bringing in a place that's going to be compatible with you, where your energy is just going to work better than it has been. So with the Sun, it is really feeling amazing. It's a liberation. There's a freedom here, which I love with that Two of Swords opener, because you're not going to feel restricted anymore. It's like you put down the heavy swords, you know who you are, and you know that part of this in life is like you don't have to participate in something if it really doesn't suit you. Now, those of you that really related to not getting along with either a family or a friend of your loved one, I do feel like you're going to find a happy medium here. And, even if it's sort of that killing them with kindness energy, it's still going to be enough that it makes everything copacetic, where there's just not any big friction. It feels like things move along here. So the Knight of Wands is going to have you feeling excitement about your life, feeling enthusiasm. So whatever changes happen in terms of work, or if it's a contract that had to be resolved, here it is. Knights come of service, and this one brings the noise. It brings the energy. So you will feel like you can't wait to go. And I do feel like, too, anything that you're trying to orchestrate here, it's like it comes rushing forward in this. And so even in a relationship that's had a little bit of a snag, you're going to feel that passion again. You're going to feel that vibrancy in the relationship, because you definitely have love here. So let's see here, Sagittarius, what the angels have to say for Sagittarius, please. Advice for Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. What else does Sagittarius need to know, please? You've got abundance coming in. Well, of course, it's already in your subconscious. So you have a time period that you're going to be flourishing and growing. You have forgiveness, and I think that's important with the temperance energy and that opener that we had with the Two of Swords, just kind of letting bygones be bygones. Big happy changes. I have not seen this, I think, in about 24 readings. It's been dozens of readings. So there's going to be a nice turning point for you guys. Perfect timing. And you've got a yes. Good things are happening. They're on the way for you, Sagittarius. I love you, and I'll be back again soon.